Hello everyone, this is Raghu. Welcome to the Salesforce Trailhead video series. In this video, we will try to understand some of the Lightning components and a speaker form for the Lightning component, and we will try to see how we can create a Lightning component, and then in the next module set of modules we will see how to add those Lightning components to our pages. Okay, so in this Lightning component, again, to make sure that to work on this, like open your launch your Trailhead and go to the developer console, and on the developer console we need to make the appropriate changes. So I'm creating a Lightning component called speaker form. Okay, so developer console, file, new Lightning component, and the speaker form. So in the speaker form, select the Lightning record page option, Lightning record page, and hit submit. So in here we do have two things, like once the form is created, it has the component, controller, helper, style. All these are the stuff like where we can write some set of logic or code here. Okay, so copy this code, and by default whenever you create a component .cmp, just make sure that you are adding the current code into the .cmp component. Okay, so this is copy this code, go back and delete this one and paste it. Okay, so this code is more of like it will create a Lightning component, and this Lightning component is basically like showing the first name, last name, the email address. Whenever we want to edit a record, we try to it tries to show up this page. Okay, and this can be used in our existing application. Instead of, like, if we don't write this, we can still edit them, but by using a legacy or an existing default pages, but we will be using these components going ahead. Okay, so now the next step is like creating the controller. So copy the code and go back to the controller, and the controller is the one, remember, like we were writing the code in .cmp. Now once I click on the controller, it brought the .js. Okay, so .js is like the JavaScript file that I'm writing. In here I'm going to copy this existing code and delete this functionality and paste it. Okay, and just make sure that every time you make some changes, save them. And going back to the speaker form, this is the page where when this gets executed, we are calling this controller, the speaker form controller, on success. So in this basic scenario, what happens is the records whatever we are trying to create are a default, or let's understand that the default form whatever the Salesforce has given, we will try to overwrite that default form and assign this specific the .js and the .cmp, basically these two things, to save the basic set of records. Okay, so the next step that we are going to do is this form will be set as the default form, the speaker form. So for that, let's go back to the Apex, click on the setup again, and in the search window we are going to say, like, oh sorry, no, we are going to go to the object manager, look for the speaker. So on the speaker, in the buttons and links, and this is where we are gonna edit the existing standard functionalities. Okay, so when I say we are editing the standard functionalities, what are we going to do? We are going to edit the standard functionality and give the component for the functionality to get to. Okay, so the edit select for this edit scenario, I select the drop down and click on edit. So in the lightning experience override, so right now it is using a standard classic Salesforce scenario. So I'm just trying to select the override the lightning component and see C colon speaker form. So this is the speaker form is the one that we have created. This is the one, the speaker form. That's the component that we have created and use for the speaker edit. Okay. So now all we do is like just go back to the application, go to the speakers, select any and click on edit. Okay. So in this edit, just I think let me just go back and refresh it once again and just make sure check this. Let me refresh this. Okay. And click on anything, James Gosling, and click on edit. Yeah, there we go. So remember in the previous scenario there was a pop-up which was being shown, and now in this scenario this is the custom lightning page that we have created. Okay, so in here I say test and update the speaker and click on James Gosling again. And you see here the bio I have added a test. Okay, so which means like what we are trying to do is in the previous scenario when we click on edit, the basic page was like a default page given by the lightning framework, but now we are trying to override that functionality and create our own page by creating lightning components. Okay, so that's like one thing, like we have edited the functionality and updated the existing page to make sure that we can apply this lightning component. So let's go ahead and verify our steps. There we go, we got the 100 points, and in the next step we will go ahead and look for the next set of lightning components and how to use it with the apex trigger, apex classes and stuff. Okay, thank you.